Now on CoastTV News.
Newly sworn in Representative Alonna Berry speaking to her colleagues, what she said ahead of that historic day.
Property tax bills coming in the mail, why some are going up, way up, some are going down, and some are staying the same.
Ocean City's main wastewater treatment plant nearing the end of its life. What plans are in store?
Over the next few days, we're expecting higher heat and humidity just before the storms kick in. I'll show you what I'm tracking.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
The General Assembly cheers, and the Speaker embraces Alonna Berry after she is sworn in as District 20's newest representative. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight focused on the state legislature.
Alonna Berry is the newest representative in Delaware's General Assembly, as you just saw. Her induction into the House was met with support by both political parties today. In a speech in the House chamber, Berry said she's excited to hit the ground running as her first day coincides with that special session. Berry named education and public safety as her top priorities. We spoke with her today.
I'm excited and grateful to be sworn in officially today, and more excited to get to hit the ground running, literally. There's some really important legislation on the floor today talking about reassessment, and so I'm excited to, on day one of swearing in, to be able to be the voice for District 20 here in Dover.
Berry's family was on hand for the swearing in, and she thanked them profusely for her support. Now, Alonna Berry won the District 20 special election just last Tuesday. It had been held by still Parker Selby. Parker Selby first took office after the 2022 election, but after being re-elected, she missed every single day of the legislative session. Parker Selby resigned on June 24th. For more on this story and to learn more about Alonna Berry, you can read our coverage on CoastTV.com.
Houses in Sussex County were just reassessed for the first time since 1974. That's 50 years. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Milton. Emma, now the county is mailing those property bills with the reassessed rates.
Charlie, people are seeing a wide variety of results on their tax bills. The county says some went way up, some went down, and some didn't change at all. So let's explain. For this story, we're just focusing on houses in the Cape Henlopen School District, and both Cape and the Sussex County government have committed to remaining revenue neutral. So they don't want to get any more money than they got last year because housing values have changed a lot after this new reassessment, the distribution of taxes varies greatly property to property. One Lewis homeowner we spoke with says it's worth helping out the local schools.
If they haven't done it in 50 years, there's no way anybody's going to pay for the schools. And there are so many people moving in to work, younger people with younger kids. And since I've been here, they've probably built 3 middle schools to, redid the high school twice or 3 times and built a middle school. So it doesn't come for free.
So again, in short, property values went up so much in some places that in order to remain revenue neutral, lower priced homes in those same areas had to go down. And Sussex County did just release an updated tax calculator if you want to see what your new bill will be. We have more information on that on CoastTV.com. Back to you guys.
This brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know which property reassessment bill would help you the most.
Let's take a look at the results so far. 90% say the refund would help the best, but 20% say getting a payment plan to pay that higher tax would help the most.
If you haven't voted yet, or if you want to leave a comment, you can do that at CoastTV.com or use the mobile app.
A wastewater treatment plant in Ocean City, built in the late 1960s, and according to city documents, its life cycle is coming to an end. The plant is essential for recycling used water and putting it back into the ocean. Kevin Zapay takes us to OC to show us just how important this system is to the entire region.
James Slazak is getting his boat ready to set sail, something he does every year in Ocean City.
We come down about 4 or 5 times a year, sometimes for a week and then several weekends, just to go fishing and sit on the beach.
But just like many others we spoke with, Slazak wants to make sure the water beneath his boat is clean. And according to Hal Adkins, the Ocean City Director of Public Works, the water waste treatment plant on 64th Street needs a makeover. According to the Ocean City agenda, work will include construction of a new pump station, head works facility, mechanical and electrical upgrades, and overall site improvements. All 7 of the contractors looking to bid on the job were recognized today at the Ocean City Council, and now the town will review which contractor they want to go with.
So the city should keep it up clean, and it's their whole economy is based upon people coming down here to use clean water.
With thousands of boats sailing left and right every year, the town plans to make sure the water below stays clean, clear, and healthy. I'm Kevin Zapay, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
The Ocean City Council is now in the process of reviewing all of the bids before deciding on which one to use.
New today, an Ellendale man is facing 7 felony charges after Delaware State Police found cocaine at a home in that town. Here is what we're learning from the Delaware State Police. They say there was an investigation of 53-year-old Andre Mullen by multiple agencies during the execution of a search warrant on South Old State Road. Police say nearly 45 grams of crack and over 15 grams of powder cocaine was found.
Delaware is closer to having a designated Department of Veterans Affairs. The legislation creating the department was approved by both chambers of the General Assembly. Lawmakers say 70,000 veterans in Delaware will have their issues represented in this new department, which is a cabinet secretary level office. Governor Matt Meyer is scheduled to sign the bill creating this office tomorrow.
A big flood prevention project could soon move forward in Dewey Beach. The town's infrastructure committee is set to discuss and possibly even vote on recommending that the town council advance the Reed Avenue pump station project in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The town says it's already secured a $1 million federal grant, which would cover over 25% of the project's total cost. Now let's take a live look outside into Laurel. We got some cloud cover there, but it's also been a nice day as we check in with our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams. Paul, what's going on?
Well, what you see is the heaviness of the cloud cover, which is indicative of the increased moisture content we have just covering the atmosphere. And we had a little fog early this morning, and now we're preparing for the humidity and the heat to kick right on back in. Our dry text crawl space camera, Ocean City. Hey, folks are enjoying the water right now, but we'll drop down to the mid 70s by 9 o'clock under scattered cloud cover. A little clear in some areas and not so much in others. Temperatures right now, we're 84 right now for us in Georgetown, and we're looking for the winds pushing out to the south now pretty steadily. And that southerly flow is going to set us up for more in the way of heat and humidity to really kick in for us, particularly gathered right here and converging right here close to the shore here. And that being the case going into Wednesday and Thursday, not until Friday will we see things change around a little bit. We have a bit of a trough. This is kind of dancing across the Delmarva Peninsula right now. That'll kick off a random little sprinkle here and there. We'll talk more about more condensed and more focused storms showing up for tomorrow. But until then, back to you, Maddie.
Paul, thank you. Tonight, more pushback against President Trump's unprecedented move to take control of the police department in D.C. for the next month. But D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser admits she has little recourse here without statehood. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard shows us that while the president says D.C.'s crime rate is unacceptably high, the police's own statistics show violent crime has fallen over the last 2 years.
National Guard troops are now patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C., less than 24 hours after President Trump announced his plan to fight crime in the nation's capital.
Over the course of the next month, the Trump administration will relentlessly pursue and arrest every violent criminal in the district who breaks the law.
Today, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser met with Attorney General Pam Bondi to talk about the federal takeover of the Metropolitan Police Department.
What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
Both Bowser and Bondi called the meeting productive. Both say they will work together to make the city safer. The meeting comes after the president announced yesterday he was taking over the plan to fight crime in D.C.
This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency.
He painted D.C. as lawless, saying gangs roam the streets and displaced people have taken over. That didn't sit well with some D.C. residents who demonstrated against what they consider federal overreach.
The whole idea that there is some kind of a crisis of disorder in D.C. is a made-up, phony story to distract attention from deteriorating economy.
The federal takeover comes as data shows violent crime is down 26%, homicides down 12%. Some residents, though, say crime is being underreported, and others welcome the attention, but say 30 days won't solve any crime problem.
If there aren't longer term, more impactful changes that take place over that 30 days, that the feds and the National Guard and anyone else who's involved is just going to go about their business and the MPD will be left holding the bag.
The 800 National Guards members will not be serving in law enforcement capacities on the streets. Instead, they will be assisting the officers on the ground. The president said he will leave them mobilized until he is determined that conditions have improved. Now, they are under the law only able to remain on the streets for 30 days unless Congress approves an extension. In Washington, Vaughn Hilliard, NBC News.
Lewis marks a milestone with workforce housing. We'll bring you to the grand opening for Dutchman's Harvest.
And we're expecting the dog days of summer to make a serious comeback over the next 48 hours. I'll explain what that means coming up.
But first, restaurants feel the heat. We'll show you how higher costs and fewer customers are putting pressure on the restaurant industry. Up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Despite the tariff rollout, falling gas prices helped keep overall inflation tame in July. However, now more everyday goods are getting expensive, showing President Trump's tariffs are being passed down to consumers.
Ivan Rodriguez reports on what these numbers mean for consumers as well as the restaurant industry.
Local restaurants across the country are scrambling as some key costs skyrocket.
We certainly have seen increases in a lot of the proteins, with certainly beef, chicken, pork.
In July, hamburger beef at the wholesale level is up nearly 21% compared to the same month 10 years ago, according to federal data. Chad Mutre with the National Restaurant Association says the increase in costs is becoming a pressure point for many restaurants across the country.
We have seen menu prices that have increased every single month this year, and certainly over the last 5 months. And so that has been really a function of the fact that those costs have continued to rise.
For consumers who remain nervous about the economy's future, many are cutting back and becoming less willing to pay higher prices at restaurants. That's putting some restaurants in a position to choose between rising menu prices and eating the cost.
The reality is that restaurants operate on very thin margins, right? 3 to 5% is the typical restaurant.
In the first half of 2025, U.S. restaurants and bars saw one of the weakest 6-month periods of sales growth in the past decade, according to a CNN analysis of Commerce Department data. Mutre says that there is a silver lining. Even though consumers may not be eating out as much, they still believe it's worth it.
If you're not going on as nice of a vacation, or you're not going out and buying that large ticket item, but you still want to go out and eat and have a great meal at a great value.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Watching out for wet weather on Wednesday and possibly leaning into portions of Thursday before we clear up in time for the weekend. Your full forecast coming up. Well, we knew it was going to eventually happen. The heat and humidity of summertime was eventually going to come back in style. Well, it's back on the rack for at least the next couple of days, along with a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon hours. Our dry tech camera, Ocean City, we're looking pretty good. These actually folks that are sea doing it out here, along with some of the boats. So folks are outside enjoying it, and that's what you should do when you're here on the beach. Now, we have the winds primarily pushing out to the south with temperatures in the 80s for right now. And here's the latest look what's happening with live radar. We are seeing a spot shower popping up over Seaford, but this isn't widespread scattered showers. This is typical summer diurnal heating type stuff that's occurring for right now. And we're keeping a close eye on it, but it's nothing that's really that ominous. I mean, we have a bit of a trough that's over our area in general, but it's going to continue to move out of the way. To our south is where we have more activity throughout portions of the Carolinas. And I bring that up because you see this high pressure system, it's set up perfectly like a football blocker. It's blocking all the rain from coming farther north. So it's going to keep that ridge of blocking to occur to keep mainly most of that out of the way. And it's that same kind of pattern we're keeping a close eye on as it pertains to what's happening with Erin. Still a tropical storm, by the way. And as we zoom in on Erin, still way out here deep in the waters, but by Wednesday, we're still looking for it to be a tropical storm, and then possibly a Category 1 by the time we get into late Wednesday, early Thursday, and then by Sunday, it's going to be north of San Juan as a Category 3. Now, just so you know, we are expecting for this to become a very strong storm. And I've been answering a lot of traffic on TikTok and all that other kind of stuff. Right now, the earliest models are indicating this is not expected to hit the East Coast by any stretch of their imaginations. Anything's possible. I get that. I know that. But even by the time it's a Category 3, it's still going to be in excess of 1,000 miles away from us. Okay? And before that arrives, we should have plenty of warning ahead of time. If we need to batten down the hatches, we'll be sure to let you know here on Coast TV. Back to our local forecast. Listen, we are looking for scattered showers to break out for tomorrow due to afternoon heating showers, typical stuff for summertime now, with the moisture back in place. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, humidity rises. It's going to become sticky. Tropical storms possible for us on Thursday. We keep a close eye on that possibility. We're looking for a mixture of clouds and sunshine with scattered showers and winds out of the south along the west. And listen, the heat index into the 90s for Wednesday around lunchtime, into the 90s to 97 degree category for Thursday. You see how that heat's coming back in style? Yeah, put it on the rack. We're going to have another helping of it on Friday as well, around 4 o'clock temperatures or the heat index well into the 90s. And then our chances of rain, we'll have a 37% chance of rain on Wednesday, 24% chance on Thursday. Now, as you take a look at this for Wednesday, we're looking at a pocket of thunderstorms between Long Neck and Millsboro. Then it clears out of the way relatively quickly. And then as we go into Thursday and Friday, we see widespread scattered showers. So Wednesday's our day we're expecting more of a chance of rain, even for Ocean City and for Fenwick Island. And then finally, for Lewis and Rehoboth, it's Wednesday with the wettest weather. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul. A ribbon cutting in Lewis this morning celebrated the grand opening of Dutchman's Harvest, the city's first affordable workforce housing project. It's set to offer 140 multifamily units exclusively for people working at least 30 hours a week in Sussex County. Home prices range from $239,000 for a one-bedroom to $364,000 for a three-bedroom. Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco says the project fills a critical need.
This really, it takes away that barrier from the entering into the dream that most people have to have their own home, more than a roof over their heads, to really have a dignified place to live. And it's challenging. And it's not just here in Delaware or just in Sussex County. Nationwide, we have a problem with that middle housing.
The developer tells us that demand is high and they expect the project to be complete in about a year.
Some big news for Taylor Swift fans. The Grammy winner announced a new album titled The Life of a Showgirl. The surprise announcement for TS12 came at 12:12 on Tuesday morning. Swift released the news as part of a sneak peek for her upcoming appearance on the New Heights podcast, hosted by her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, and his brother, Jason.
And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 7, it's Stellar Fights 66. Then catch the final score at 10:30 p.m. And coming up, one Delmarva horse broke free. And it wasn't headed to the races. The people who stepped in to rein in the adventure. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Mellow Airlines is expanding service out of the Wilmington Airport, adding more flights to Orlando and bringing back non-stop service to San Juan this fall. Starting October 1st, flights to Orlando will be doubled to 4 times a week, and Avello's seasonal non-stop route to San Juan will return with extra flights around the holidays.
The Democratic National Committee chair is planning to ask party members to make a big change in campaign finance. According to the DNC, Ken Martin will introduce a resolution for new reform this month. The group would discuss ways to restrict corporate and dark money donations from the upcoming presidential primary. Progressives have been pushing a ban for years, but critics argue it would be hard to enforce and put Democrats at a disadvantage. Let's look live outside one more time into Lewis. One more check on your forecast after this. Only on Delmarva. Check this out. DelDOT shared these photos of an escaped horse over in Harrington. You can see a Good Samaritan alongside DelDOT employees came over and kept that horse safe until its owner arrived. Pretty cool there.
Nice that it had a good resolution. Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, a ribbon-cutting ceremony by Ocean City officials celebrating a grand opening. That story and more on Coast TV News at 6.
Here we are in Laurel. We're expecting for temperatures to settle into the upper 70s by 9 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Karen Ennis of Lincoln. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. You can always keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Medallis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We are watching out for wet roads on Wednesday and a chance of a thunderstorm on Thursday.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.